Vampire Sucks is a 2010 comedy movie. It's a spoof comedy movie. It was written and directed by two guys, Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer. Now, these two guys are known for making spoof movies. They've made a shitload of spoof movies. Why? Why does Hollywood go to these two guys to make spoof movies? Well, they make them for super cheap, and they end up making a shitload of money. Whether you find them funny or not, these guys somehow, someway continue to make these types of movies. This one, Vampire Sucks, is a spoof on Twilight. And I've said before, and I've made reviews on all of the Twilight movies, and I've admitted that I am somewhat a fan of Twilight. I mean, it's not like I love the movies or anything, and I know a lot of guys, especially, hate Twilight. I'm just someone who, I can watch them, I own them. They're just movies that I don't hate, I don't mind. I can find some enjoyment out of it. But at the same time, I do recognize the ridiculousness of it. I do recognize that Twilight is an easy target to make jokes about, to laugh at.
We've heard so much about you. Paper cut.
Jen Prosky, who plays Becca, obviously Becca is supposed to be Bella, and Becca, I don't even have to go through a plot, really. It's a spoof movie, so it's pretty much following what happens in the first two Twilight movies, but just making fun of them. You have Becca, who falls in love with Edward Cullen instead of Edward Cullen, and Edward's played by Matt Lanter. These two I don't mind. I don't mind the two leads. Jen Prosky, I like her because she gets Kristen Stewart's mannerisms so right. It's really funny to see the way she acts as Kristen Stewart playing Bella. Like she has all of her weird quirks, mannerisms, the biting of the lip. That just seemed recognizable to Kristen Stewart, and that alone makes me laugh.
Someone here order Chinese food?
Edward is such an easy target, but I like the fact that they sort of made him like a pussy. You know, like he's constantly either crying or pouting or whining and complaining. The problem with this movie, though, is pretty much the same problem I have with most spoof movies. Especially spoof movies made by these two fucking guys, Friedman and Seltzer. With their movies, and more so here, more so Vampire Sucks, because their other movies I hate, I despise. I hate those other films. Disaster movie, epic movie, Meet the Spartans. I just hate them. Maybe I'll do reviews, aka rants on them. I don't know. This one, Vampire Sucks, I don't hate it because they do things where they have some funny jokes.
Where did you go, silly rabbit?
You don't get it. I'm a killer.
Oh.
Probably because I've seen Twilight so many times that I'm so familiar with Twilight that I can laugh at Twilight or some of the obvious, easy, funny jokes at Twilight's expense. But then, it's like right after a funny joke, they do something that's so stupid and just not clever. That's the problem. I don't mind a spoof movie. I don't mind a spoof movie even making fun of a movie that I like or a subject that I like. But you can't just half-ass it. You can't just do some of the lamest TV comedy type jokes. It's like, try harder.
You know who we are, don't you? You're the Black Eyed Peas.
Why does everyone always think we're the Black Eyed Peas?
For example, I found it funny that they pointed out the fact that Kristen Stewart, as the Bella character, like her character is so awkward, so kind of weird, but yet every guy in the movie wants to hook up with her. They think she's hot or something. And I'm attracted to Kristen Stewart, but it is sort of weird how like every guy is trying to get with her. Or the fact that Jacob, like the Jacob in this movie, he constantly takes off his shirt.
Jacob, why did you just take off your shirt?
My contract says I have to every 10 minutes of screen time.
Or even just random bits, like mostly in the background. Like there's one part where Becca is talking to Jacob, and in the background her father is having like this fight with Jacob's father, and they're like beating the hell out of each other. But Jacob's father's in a wheelchair. So it's weird because you have some funny jokes, and then there's just some stuff that's like, wow, This is so piss poor. Like, there's a Lady Gaga joke that I'm just like, really?
Finally found someone as freaky as me.
Lady Gaga?
Too freaky?
Really? And then they do this thing with Jacob and his pact of werewolf guys, and they all do a It's Raining Man bit.
It's raining man. Hallelujah, it's raining.
The bigger the hit.
And there's so many more jokes that are so lame, so dumb, so not funny that honestly, I don't even remember most of them. That's how bad it is. I just got done watching the movie and I can't even sit and remember it. Because I don't want to remember it. And then Ken Jeong, somehow, some ways in this movie, like, why is he here? He's actually able to get into big, high-profile comedies. I liked him at first, like when he was in The Hangover or Pineapple Express. He's in Knocked Up. Like, at first I was like, oh, okay, this Asian guy's funny, you know. But over time, I got sick of him. It's like he kept doing that same character, that same annoying, overly Chinese accent character so much that I'm sick of him.
Oh, yeah!
Alright, granted, he doesn't play that same type of guy. But still, it's just watching him, I'm like, he's not doing anything. He's essentially useless. I mean, you could have put anyone in that role. Like, why spend the money to get this guy in the movie? And then you have Annelies Vanderpool. And if you don't know her, I know her because when I was a kid, when I was younger, I watched the Disney Channel. I have no shame in admitting that. And I used to watch the show That's So Raven with Raven-Symoné. And this girl played Raven's best friend on the show, Chelsea. If you haven't seen the show and you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm sorry. But for anyone who did watch That's So Raven, you know who I'm talking about. The redhead, the best friend. And ever since the show, I haven't seen her in anything. And then seeing her pop up in here, I'm like, what? Because she's actually funny. And I like her, and she's pretty, and she's a decent enough actress. But seeing her here and some of the lines they give her, some of the jokes, some of the bits that they force her to do, I feel so bad for her. I'm like, no, you should be in a legitimate comedy.
Who are they?
Snooki, JWoww, DJ Polly D.
Wait, no, not the dirtbags from the Jersey Shore.
Alright, so am I going to say that I never laughed? No, I can't say that because I've already admitted to finding some of this stuff funny. But just overall, there's too many unfunny jokes. There's too many moments where I'm just kind of sitting there, crickets. I wish it was like a skit, or I wish there was maybe like a couple of skits of some of these scenes, because some scenes alone would be funny if they didn't have to fill the hour-and-a-half length with just a bunch of shitty, useless jokes that go nowhere. It just doesn't really do anything.
Jacob, run! It's Chihuahua.
So Vampire sucks. I won't give it a fuck you, because you made me laugh a couple of times. But still, this movie's bullshit. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you saw Vampire Sucks and if you agree or not. Peace, subscribe. See ya!
Vampires suck.
Edward! Edward! Where? Edward, we love you. You're the best. No, Jacob's the best.